good morning grade 11s. It's Tuesday 12th of May and today we're going to look at some graph interpretation questions which includes hyperbolous and exponential graphs. Okay, so this is on page 25 of your notes and this is the first example we're going to look at. So when we do look at this question, it is clearly stated that two graphs have been given to you. You need to be able to identify them. If I have 8 over x minus 4, it means that I am looking at the hyperbola. Now, what is this hyperbola telling me? This hyperbola is telling me that I have an asymptote where x is 0. And it is also telling me that I have an asymptote where y is equal to negative 4. What it also is telling me is that I have a straight line, which is referred to as function g. So if I look at the questions, they are asking me give the equations of the asymptote of f. So hyperbola has 2, so x equal to 0 and y equals to negative 4. Give the coordinates of A, the x-intercept of f. So if I take the x-intercept, I am going to make y equals to 0. So 0 equals 8 over x minus 4. I'm going to move the 4 over and I'm going to have 8 over x. That means I have 4x equal to 8. X is 2. So the coordinates of A is 2 and 0. So A is at 2. Give the coordinates of B, the x-intercept of G. So the x-intercept, I'm going to make y 0. So 0 equals minus 2x plus 6. Minus 2x will move to the left and become plus 2x. Divide both sides by 2. X is 3. So the coordinates of B is 3 and 0. So at B, B happens at 3. Give the domain and range of f back to the hyperbola. So the domain, x can be any number, but x may not equal 0 because that's the asymptote. The range, y can be any number, but y may not equal the asymptote of negative 4. Now they're saying for which value of x is g of x, and that means negative or below the x-axis. So if I look at which values for x, will yellow be below the x-intercept? It will be, and it's included, x is an element including 3 going to infinity. So everything on the right hand side is below. If A is 2 and 0 and AE is parallel to the y-axis, determine the coordinates of E. That means if I redraw it here, they are telling me A is, well, we worked out 2 and 0, but A and E is in the same line. That means E will also share the x coordinate of 2. How do I work out the y? Well, E is on the straight line, so y equals minus 2x plus 6. But what do I know? X is 2, so y is minus 2 times 2 plus 6, minus 4 plus 6, y is 2. So E will have the coordinates 2 and 2. give the length of AE. That means if I start at 0 and I end at 2, AE will be 2 units. Calculate the coordinates of C and D. That's the point of intersection. What do I know at the point of intersection? I know that the two equations is going to be equal to each other. So if I have an LCD of x, but x may not be 0, I'm going to have 8 minus 4x equals minus 2x squared plus 6x. That is a quadratic equation. I need to get one side equal to 0. Plus 6 will become minus 6, so it's negative 10x. And 8 is on the left-hand side already. I can divide by 2, so I get x squared minus 4x plus 4. It's a quadratic equation which I now can factorize x minus 4x minus 1. So x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 1. Which one will take which one? So looking at my sketch, C is on the left hand side of D. So D will take the 4 and C will take the 1. How do I get the y coordinate? I simplify or simply substitute the x value. So minus 2 times by 4 is going to be negative 8 plus 2. So that y coordinate is negative 2. So D is at 4 and minus 2. C, I simply substitute the x value with 1. Minus 2 plus 6 is 4. So C will be at 1 and 4. And that was quite straightforward and quite easy. Right. So I'm going to do exercise 9. Number 1 as an example for you as well. So the diagram represents f, which is an exponential graph. So that's f. And what do I know about an exponential graph? It has a y asymptote, and I can see that y asymptote will be at negative 4. It also gives me a straight line, which is 2x minus 4, and I can go from there. So what are the coordinates of A? Now A, do you notice, A is the x-intercept of both graphs. So I can use either one of them. I'm going to stick to the straight line. It's less complicated. Therefore, the x-intercept, I will make y 0. So 0 equals 2x minus 4. Minus 4 moves to the left, and x work out to be 2. So the coordinates of A is 2 and 0. The value of k, now k, I find it b, and b is given as 1 and k. Now what do you notice about point B? It is also a point of intersection. So if b is 1 and I need to find k, which is the y coordinate, I can simply use, I'm going to use the straight line again, and I'm going to say, but hold on, I know x is 1. So if I substitute x with 1, y works out to be 2 minus 4, negative 4, so negative 2, so k will have a value of negative 2, which means b lies at 1 and negative 2. The length of ST, what do you notice about S and T? They are, S is the y-intercept of the exponential graph, and T is the y-intercept of the straight line. So S is the y-intercept. How do I work out the y-intercept? I'll make x 0. So y is equal to 2 to the 0 minus 4. Please don't ignore 2 to the 0. It's not 0, it's a 1. So y is equal to minus 3. So S is 0 and negative 3. What do you notice about T? T is the y-intercept of the straight line. So in the straight line, I am going to make x 0. So 0 minus 4, y is negative 4. So T will be 0 and negative 4. So S is at minus 3, T is at minus 4. So what is the length of ST? It is 1 unit. The length of PQ, FOR, so where's PQ? This is P, that's Q. They are telling me OR, so from there to R is 4 units. So R will have coordinates of 4 and 0. What do you notice about P and Q? They are in the same line as R. So P will be 4 and something, and Q will be 4 and something. Can I work out those y coordinates? Yes, I can. Now P finds itself on the exponential graph. So y is equal to 2 to the x minus 4, but x is 4. So it's y is equal to 2 to the power 4 minus 4. Now what is 2 to the power 4? That is 16. And 16 minus 4 is 12. So P is 4 and 12. Q lies on the straight line. So y is equal to 2 times 4 minus 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. So Q has coordinates of 4 and 4. So what is the length of PQ? PQ will be 8 units because 12 minus 4 is 8. So PQ is 8 units. Right. The length of MN, let's find M. There is M. There is N. The length of MN, if OL is 1 unit. What are they trying to say to you? That L, and be careful, we are now on the negative side. L will have coordinates of minus 1 and 0. 1 unit, we never have length in negative values, but we are on the left-hand side. So what does that mean? That means that M will have an x coordinate of negative 1 and N will have an x coordinate of negative 1. Can I work out the y coordinate of each of these? Yes, I can. Now, M is a point on the exponential. So y is equal to 2. I'm going to replace the x with a minus 1 and I'm going to subtract 4. Now be careful, this is now a half minus 4, which means it's negative 3 and a half. So M is at minus 1 and minus 3 and a half. Can I find N? So y coordinate? Yes, I can. N is a point on the straight line. So instead of having x, I'm going to have minus 1. So minus 2 minus 4 is negative 6. So n will have minus 1 and minus 6 as its coordinate. So what is the length of mn? Well, from minus 3.5 to negative 6, I will have mn is 2.5 units. Please remember, length can never be negative. Right, the domain and range of f and g. I'm going to go back to the bottom here of my page. So f is my exponential. So my exponential function will have a domain. All exponential functions, x is part of real numbers, that's my domain. The range will be, it's going up, and where is it going up? It's going away from negative 4, and it's part of all real numbers. Now my straight line, there's no restrictions on the x or the y value of a straight line. Therefore, the domain is x is part of real numbers and y is part of real numbers. Okay. Now we're at the question that you hate the most. And this is basically interpreting what your graph is giving you. So I'm going to make all f of x I made green. That's all my exponentials, and g of x is my straight line. So now they're asking me, where is my green? Greater than equal means above. Where is my green above my blue? So if I look at my graph, it's above, it's above, it's above until I reach point B. Now, when we answer these questions, we use the x values. Please, we don't look at y. So all the way from negative infinity up to B, which is at 1, I will have green above yellow. So green above blue. So I'm going to add a block here. So G1, where f of x is greater than equal to g of x. So coming from negative infinity and up to 1, but I can include because it's greater than equal. So brown, and then I have blue above green. I don't want that. And then from A, and A we said is at 2. From 2 all the way. So from 2 all the way to positive infinity, I have green above blue. The next one is, where will my green graph be above negative or greater than negative 4? So this is, where is it above? It's all of them. So above negative 4 is my asymptote. So all my x values, so x part of real numbers. So where will my blue be above minus 4? Now minus 4 is my y-intercept. So it carries on, but I want to know where it is above. So number 3, g of x greater than minus 4. Where does that happen? From 0 all the way to infinity. But can I include 0? No, because it's only greater So from 0, so 0 is a round bracket, infinity is always a round bracket. Okay, nice and simple and easy. What are you going to have to do? You are going to have 2 days to work on exercise 9. So for today, you are going to do number 2, 3, and 5. And then for tomorrow there won't be any video lessons. Tomorrow you are going to do questions 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's for Wednesday. Please remember that you also have a quiz or an assessment, a graph interpretation assessment, and that assessment is based on graph interpretation with parabolas and straight lines. You only have one chance to do it, and your deadline is Friday at 5 o'clock. So you can use tomorrow's lesson time to finish questions 6, 7, 8, and 9. It will take you half of the lesson time, and then you have 30 minutes left of your lesson time that you can start with your assessment. But I'm giving you extra time until Friday 5 o'clock to finish your assessment online that will be on parabolas and straight line graph interpretation.